Welcome back to Own Your Own Mind, Body, and Spirit, where we are tapping into Judy Marie Trimber's 40 years of experience in the mind, body, spirit connection. Judy blends diverse wisdom traditions with leading edge evidence-based research to bring you practical techniques and solutions for a truly transformative journey. And today we are diving into the topic of parasites, the hidden threat to your health. And Judy has lots of information for you today that may be a little bit challenging for some of us to hear, but we just suggest that you listen with an open mind, and Judy has lots of solutions to offer you today as well, so be sure to stick around to hear them. So let's get started. Hi, Judy. How are you?
I am doing really well. Thank you. Hi, Valerie, Linda, the team here, Mary, Melanie, and some other people, and Kathy. Um, and thank you for my team being here too. And Tommy, this is really an amazing topic to share. And you're so brave to let me on your show to share this. So, hey, I appreciate this.
Well, we appreciate you, Judy. I'm here for it. Let's go.
Okay, so this is probably one of subjects that the majority of the people in the health field, whichever health field they're in, that they really don't want to dive too deep into this. This is probably one of the videos that I'll have to be very selective if we share any of it on YouTube on our end because of the restrictions that are going on. Even from, I shared with you, Tommy, when I mentioned just even about silver to clean your vegetables, we had that YouTube taken down. You can't even mention zinc now. There's so many words you can't even mention because it will help us. And I want to say, everybody here, have an open mind because what I'm going to share with you is critical information. Need to know, share any of this with anybody else you know at the core of what we're dealing with our health issues and what's exasperating our symptoms right now as well. Nobody is excluded from being exposed to some of the things that I'm going to talk about. Um, you probably have known talking with different people, what you're feeling yourself, how people are feeling, and we dealt with brain fog, but I'm really going to go into what is really adding to that um, pretty predominantly. And also, this subject with parasites, there's a doctor, Dr. Artis. Have some of you heard of Dr. Artis? Okay, all right. So I am getting a little closer into his network as well right now. And when he first came out with some information about venoms and what's in certain things that people have taken or gotten or what we're exposed to, um, he was, even his life was threatened. So many things were done to him because of this. Now he's traveling worldwide and he came out with a book. And I want to tell you about this book in case any of you need. This is facts, documentation. The stuff I'm going to share with you today is backed up with documentation and facts. Okay, so this isn't Judy, oh, one day she saw a parasite come out of her body and this is all the stuff she put together, and made up. No, I don't do that. I feel like everything I've been through in the last 9 months is waking me up to even more facts and truths. And I believe we don't have to suffer unnecessarily. There are some things we will go through that is very challenging, very hard, definitely for our blessings, and our awakening and our growth. But there are some things, if we can have the knowledge and the education on, we can minimize side effects, we can minimize some of the suffering that can go on. And that's what I want to share with you today. There are things that you can be aware of, and here's one of the classes to help you with that, to be aware of, and thank you, Kathy, so we can minimize the suffering from our health, from our mind, from our body. And I'm going to let you know what I believe, that we can transform any of this. We can heal through anything if we have the information and we have the options and we know what we can do with it. So I'm sharing information today, but I'm sharing solutions, okay? That, just to be aware of and know. So before I forget, I want you to know about a book by Dr. Brian Ardis, Ardis, and it's Moving Beyond the COVID Lies. Moving Beyond the COVID Lies. Okay, the facts and information in this book on parasites, venoms, it's astounding. It's very, very well documented. Why we all need to know some of this information is because we're all really exposed to so much. Whether people have received certain things on their body or they haven't, we're all being exposed to things that have been in place from years and years ago. Okay, so back in the 1994 for sure. But I just want to, you know, when you get awakened by truth, you have a responsibility with it. You have a responsibility to share it, to live it, to make a difference. People who think there's so much going on in the world, what difference can I really make? I want to like kind of clean their ears out a little bit and say, the difference is within yourself. That is huge. When we can be willing to look at truth, be willing to do research, be willing to look at whatever it is we want to look at, for the betterment of our life. I don't want to be a host. I don't want to be a host to other people, other chemicals, other parasites, whatever it is. Maybe it's a mental host, where we're reaching, where we have lived less than who we are in our lives. We become very parasitic to other people. This helps to me become aware of my energy, for helping me to become aware of what it is I need to know to make changes in my life. Okay, so this topic is probably one of the hardest ones for people to ingest, but yet it's one of the most important ones for people to become aware of. Okay, so I shared with Tommy a quiz. We're gonna look at it. We're not going to do it online personally because I want to get through and share with you a lot of other information, but we're gonna kind of look at it a little bit so what might be some of the symptoms if you have parasites going on somewhere in your body. Okay, so if you can check this out, and I believe, Tommy, you're gonna put it in the chat.
Yep, it's in the chat now.
Okay, a PDF, all of you can get it, okay? But I want you to look at this, reflect on your life, or what do you see? Maybe you're taking care of some children, maybe you're taking care of some grandchildren, look at some of these symptoms. And one of the things on here, I don't know if you remember seeing with children or adults where on their face they have patchy white places on their face, okay? 100% of the time that's parasites, and that's a lot on the children. That every time I go to the Hopi village, Second Mesa, Arizona, you see 9 out of 10 children have this. It's and that's a sign there are parasites in the body. We all have parasites, okay? Some have more than others. We all have some little bit of cancer in us, some more than others. So the goal isn't to completely clean things out so much you're not going to be able to handle some foods that might be exposed to it, and get sick, but you'll be able to minimize a lot of the side effects that are coming from cancer that you are taking. Very common, people are having a lot of gas and a lot of bloating. That's a symptom of the parasites. Maybe, and another common one with children is itchy bottom. That happens, especially even when you're on a parasite cleanse of some kind. So with, do some of you relate to this? Who isn't? Who hasn't swam in the ocean? Who hasn't drank out of a garden hose when they were a child? There's so many ways that parasites get exposed to us. And so Tommy has that available for all of you. You could take this with you, work on it, in your own convenience. And let's go to a couple slides, Tommy. That first one just could be a little impactful, but that's good. Okay, what's eating your lunch? Okay, and that's true. What's eating your nutrients? Why are we not absorbing as much from our foods that are already, affected? Let's go ahead to the next slide in case some of you are wondering what is a parasite. Let's just go to that small little box on top. An organism that lives on or in different kind of organisms, the host, for which it gets some or all of its nourishment. Parasites are harmful to their hosts, although the damage they do ranges widely from minor to inconvenience to debilitating or fatal diseases. And then I want to go on to the next. So it's a host. Now this could be, you could be an emotional host to somebody else. You could be a mental host to somebody else. People who pull on your energy, that's very parasitic. And the incredible thing that will happen as you continue to go through what's called a die-off with parasites, you're going to become aware of all of what I've just said. Wow, I don't think I'm going to allow that to continue to happen. Where has my energy been drained? Has it really been actual parasites that are in your system? It can even be very symbolic, parasitic behavior that's coming from other people. I don't know if Tommy's still on or if we could go to the next slide.
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
Oh, cool. Okay, if we could now, foods that may cause parasites. We're going to talk a little on foods a little bit. Sushi's a given, okay, with parasites. I know vodka is for sure. Some of the other alcohols are carriers of parasites. Parasites crave sugar. If you're having cravings of more processed foods, if you're having cravings of more junk foods, don't be surprised if that is all coming from parasites. A lot of fungus in the body, a lot of yeast in the body continues to spread because of parasites. A lot of very arthritic conditions. And I'm going to go through a little more signs and symptoms here pretty soon, just in case some of you have it or of people who do have it. Rare meats. You want to cook the meats more thoroughly. Your raw, unpasteurized dairy products are actually, they've been tested to be less in parasites or what the parasites feed off of. They love mucus forming foods, just love it, you know. Wash the vegetables, you know. So we covered that a little bit more in the last class, but how important that is to scrub your fruits and vegetables especially. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Okay, this is really, really good to know. Okay, if you could look at, here is a variety of where some of the parasites come from. And you may be, you know, already aware. Actually, I just talked with someone, this was 2 weeks ago. They were traveling abroad, being so careful for everything, you know, very aware. They've traveled a lot out of the country, and he cannot figure out how he contacted a particular parasite, which he almost died from. But he thought it might have been swimming in this clear lake they were in. That's supposed to be very clean. But when you swim in a lake, when you swim in the ocean, keep your mouth closed. It can come through so many ways. And please know what I'm sharing is about raising awareness, not raising fear. When you become educated and aware of your environment and what's going on, it's easier than to take healthy action or to know, okay, these are some of the things that I really can do that will help myself. So to me, the fear should come not knowing, you know, so we become more confident in what we can do. This is interesting. Multiple sex partners. That is one sure way to get parasites. You know, it gets transmitted through fluids. And oh my goodness, the parasites that come through even antibiotics. It's excessive sugar intake. So you're thinking probably, are you kidding me? You know, how can this be? We have been given a lot of misinformation on what makes you well. We could go ahead to the next slide, Tommy, of what, you know, what we think is so healthy, what we think is so good for us. You know, and I am exposing one thing after another on lies, just lies that we've been told. And I may have shared this before, but in case some of you who are on the call did not get it, I have done iridology for close to 40 years. And I was doing consultations near the Swedish hospital in Denver. A lady who did colonics, she doesn't do them now, but she was doing hypnotherapy, colonics, and her husband, who medical doctor in the Swedish hospital, and that's in Denver area. He had an eye reading done, and when reading the eyes, I can see the environment for parasites. You could see things that are very embedded. You could tell how severe it is, how light it is. That's one of the ways to observe how you could detect parasites. You can do a live blood cell analysis. It will show up. If that person's good at what they do, it will show up. You could do a stool sample. So those are 3 ways that could test for parasites in the body. So anyways, her husband, I showed him that about the parasites, and he wanted to do what we have a formula called Parasite. It is incredible for parasites. So he said, I want to get started on this, and I don't even want to stop. He was just real adamant about this. And I'm like, why are you so interested? What is it, you know, that you feel so strong about it? And he said, Judy, in the library, in the hospital, the medical doctors have access to this very, very thick book, and it's on parasites. It's one of the few books you are not allowed to check out. And I asked why, what is it with this? He said it has every known disease and the parasite that's associated with it. Okay, do you hear me about this? Every known disease and parasites associated with it. He said it is like the best kept secret that they have. They don't want out because, as you know, they cannot make money off of this. All right? We lose our health because what they can't make money off of. I'm done with that, as you can tell. Okay, going through these interesting transformational 9 months. It is helping me when you have experiences that have compromised your own health. You seek out, you want to understand what's all influencing it. So with this doctor sharing that about that book, I would love to this day to get my hands on that book. But we know at the core of a lot of these issues are parasites. Now, parasites are microscopic, right? Or they can be extremely visible. Let's go ahead to the next slide, Tommy. So when my daughter, the middle one, received her first 3 shots when she was a baby, she became extremely ill. She just lost her appetite. She became skin and bone. I had stool samples taken, which they messed up 3 times. I was just seeking out what is going on with her. And at the time, I was working with a German herbalist, Vita. She was amazing, German herbalist. And she said, I want you to get warm milk in one of those big Tupperware bowls. And some of you probably heard this story before. And so for 4 nights in a row to soak her bottom, as long as she could sit in there in this warm milk. The 4th night, it was at least a foot long tapeworm live came out of her. Okay. Now, today I know where this came from. Okay. And I'm going to be careful what to say and what not to say, but I know where it came from. That was so profound to me, that experience that showed me an awful lot that what is invisible being injected into our bodies, whether it's through water, whether it's through GMO foods, wherever it's coming from, it's seeping in. It's coming even airborne into us. And, if all of you can be pretty darn brave here, I'm going to be asking Tommy to share a very short clip I sent to him that I want you to see this, because wake up, it's in our chemtrails. It's coming through the air, and what they're doing while you are asleep, while the nights are dark, you're going to see right here. If just watch this.
Turmeric versus human parasites. That's gross, but that is turmeric. It's not too much, actually. Okay, we're adding, I guess, distilled water, something like that. I don't know. This is very sciencey for me. That does not look, that looks gross. Okay, getting a little pipette. Oh, microscope. Okay, here we go. And, ooh, they already have the parasites on there, and there goes the turmeric. What is it doing? That doesn't look right either, okay? There goes the turmeric. Ooh! What is... Well, it looks like they can't get by it. 5 minutes. They're still dancing. It's still a party over there. Okay, well, 10 minutes later, it's slowing down a little bit. Oh, now we're just doing couple of twitching here. 45 minutes, they're just spazzing out. See, they're solid. They're not moving at all. Not even eggs or larvae seem to be alive inside their body. Turmeric? That's no joke. I don't know where we get it, but let's get some. All right, turmeric.
Thank you. So this may be a little alarming to some of you, but if you do live blood cell analysis, if you have parasites, it's going to show up like that in that blood work, or whoever's going to test that for you. We had everybody tested here, and she said the parasites that are showing up in people, even in this last year, is so far beyond, anything she has seen so far. Um, so, you know, again, this is about awareness. Just become aware what we're being exposed to, what is happening to our skin, what is happening to our body. People who are having, these skin rashes, sinus conditions, asthma, headaches, and here's some more what parasites can cause. It can affect your mood hugely, depression, okay, here's where I gotta we'll keep this slide up, but Dr. Artist is who you'll want to really, really study some stuff with, and get his book. So,
I put the link for that in the chat too.
oh, that is great. All right, here's where I get so into this. I'm so excited that I get to share truth with you that can make a difference in your life. So, have you heard also about nicotine? Okay, to help you with some of the side effects that can come from what's been injected to people and spike protein. Okay, some of you might have heard about 7 milligrams is all you need for these patches, that if you have been exposed to parasites, and I'm talking about the parasites that have been chemically modified, they're not real, but they're venoms that have been patented and manufactured. Yes, Paul, you know all about this, right? Yeah. And so 7 milligrams, and if you have had this injection, you want to know about this. Because in 7 days, if you do this patch with these symptoms, you actually can have this completely reversed. Dr. Artis really recommends 3.5 milligrams a day, to put a patch on you. And this is fascinating. It has helped to reverse people who've been affected by this with Parkinson's, autism, dementia, arthritis of all kinds, rheumatoid arthritis, heart conditions, respiratory, breast cancer, brain tumors. This is no joke. What I'm sharing. Yes, ADHD. Thanks, Mary. PTSD. They're showing this is completely reversing these kinds of conditions because of knowing where it comes from. Now, I want to mention about he jokes around with talking about the N word, but the N word being nicotine, okay? That the organic nicotine that you can buy your own leaves, you can make your own nicotine smokes or whatever you want to do with that. It truly, truly is proven. And they have actual documentation from the FDA, 1994. Medical doctors admitted that this will prevent any adverse reactions to disease. This is huge, okay? So if you can do research, make your own, buy it organically, and if you make it up in the water, okay, because you have to soak the leaves and you make it up, do a process. Take that water, soak your feet in that water, and you literally are going to have more parasites come out of your system. Okay, and the stuff again I'm sharing with you is so documented. It's so right on um, with truth information. Now, let's talk about and I'm so intrigued with this about the nicotine, okay? Because they knew in putting the chemicals into the cigarettes, they knew how to make the aroma become addictive to you. They knew how to put different chemicals in that you will become so addicted to. And and again, this is one of the things, like how stupid do they think we are that we're going to research this? We're going to want to use our God-given genes and health and vitality to why? So we can use our gifts on this planet so we can serve mankind within ourselves and others. I don't want to waste my gifts here on this earth. I don't want to be a host, to something or whoever, is influencing things in the world. And that's why I like own your own mind, body, soul. So, someone shared with me an information a few weeks ago, and she said, Judy, the chemicals that are in cigarettes, it's designed it's designed to compromise our being. I grew up in a smokehouse. My mom smoked a lot. I mean, my relatives, my uncles, my whatever. And she did die of cancer of the lungs. But I want to tell you, I also know someone who smoked up into her 80s, almost 90. She rolled her own cigarettes. Never had an issue with that. And I wondered why. She it and that's considered sacred. That's considered ceremonial. That when I've done a lot of sweat lodges in the past with the Native Americans and the Lakota Indians. And smoking a pipe is very sacred, very healing, very honorable. I am so not opposed to that whatsoever. And to find out that level of nicotine without all the chemicals, you cannot get addicted to. There have been test studies on this. You cannot. Actually, it helps your health. It's not a bad thing. Whether you have the patches, whether you will think about, doing what you're doing. And, you know, I will try something once. I've never done that, I'm going to try it. I've done ayahuasca, I hadn't tried, before. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, I have gotten so many incredible results from that. It's mind blowing, what that has done to me. So I'm really, really interested. I'm studying more of this, and Dr. Artis, who is exposing so much factual information to the medical field worldwide about the benefits of nicotine. Now, listen to this. Okay, right before that COVID experience, they knew this, and they were about people who are getting affected by all the respiratory, right, and heart conditions and the whole thing. And they're saying, stop smoking. It's making it worse. They knew the nicotine is good for you. Okay. And people then we have this holistic field who are like, oh my gosh, nicotine patches. Oh my gosh, nicotine this, nicotine that. Let me tell you, I, I, I am so over some of this, but I will give you this information. Nicotine patches can be very, very helpful to you. You will not get addicted to it. But if you're dealing with certain health issues, use the patches. No, I can't tell you what to do. I can tell you I would. Okay. And I have. If I know I'm flying, if I know I'm going to public areas, I put a patch. Okay. And I buy a bigger patch and I cut it in four. If I know, because the spike protein, what is coming off of people is very real. Dr. Artis will go through that in his book as well with you. So again, I'm just raising the awareness because we want to change that environment inside of us. We want our pH to be more alkaline. We want to have better water to drink. I don't know what we're going to do about the food supply because of what's being already sprayed. There are people who know for a fact who have organic farms, and they're caught in a very, very difficult situation because of the chemtrails. Do you still call it organic because it's hitting their fields? What they're being affected by? Okay, so you get me on a little roll right now. Okay, so back to the eggs. Okay, this is a little side note about the eggs and egg yolks. Thanks, Tommy. Yeah, we could go to that next one while I'm talking about egg yolks. Do you know the egg yolk is one of the most complete foods we have? If that egg was to hatch, what does it make? Little chick. Has the ears, the eyes, the nose, the feathers. It's a complete food. A complete food. And these chicken farms are totally being destroyed worldwide. And that's why we're seeing these eggs go up. This is all by design, people. Okay, all by design. Find your local farmers, who you could get the eggs from. This is a very healthy, complete food to have. It's really been given a rap from not good research from the past and things that have been exposed, but that's just a little side note. And it's one of the things that I'm like, hey, when I can get some really good eggs, I'm on it. And I'm a big believer in that. Foods to help remove parasites. Okay, you can incorporate garlic into your regimen of what you're preparing for your foods. Ginger is very helpful. And one thing that's not on here is it just slipped my mind. Cinnamon really, really kills off parasites. But the turmeric and the neem, oh yeah, Mary, you're laying some good bombs. We'll have to have you share some stuff here pretty soon. This is great. We have a formula with turmeric, neem, and black pepper. Okay, those three are in our organic turmeric formula. Incredible for not only killing the parasites, but why does that work so well for inflammation? Because it kills the parasites. Okay, look at this. And yeah, it's circled right there, the one on the far right. These are three things. If you're out of the country, I'm really sorry, but hopefully you can find some of these locally. We're still trying to figure out, we get people every week wanting to order out of the country, and it gets stuck in customs. It's really a challenge. But if you could find some of these items out of the country, if you could get them locally, Tommy's putting in the link, we have a promo code to get it at a discount so you can afford to get the help you need. And if you have any questions with that, even afterwards, I will walk you through. I'll tell you how to take it. I will quickly test you over the phone energetically and tell you how much you need to take. But this is a very, very positive action, in embracing your own health. I know I'm kind of going through things a bit because I really want to open it up for some discussion, and that we can really talk about some of this as well. And okay, let's go on. We missed a couple of the slides because I just want to cover just what are your most common parasites. These are the most common ones, okay, is the whipworm, the tapeworm, and the roundworm, and the pinworm. Growing up, we've seen maybe pinworms and roundworms in daycare and schools, it's just all over that way. I think there might be one that might be all of them right there. Yeah.
Here's the next one.
Oh, okay. Giardia and the hookworm. These are the most common. I don't know who else would want to really study this like I go into it, because I know this affects people's guts. I know this affects the intestines, the brain, the heart, every organ of the body. And I'm okay if you take the slide down now, Tommy. Thank you. And you can get in the chat the a promo code if that's something you're interested in. And think about this. Oh, the awareness of what you're eating, what you're taking, what you're doing, and we have solutions though, but we need to take precautions and to be aware of something every day. I would be taking the Parasite, not would be, I do every day. Ivermectin helps with that. I take that every day. I won't go without that. That helps with the parasites. And I want to, the methylene blue, okay? It's really not designed so much for the parasites as much as clearing the brain, so there are things that I continue to learn, and I'm taking it, I'm doing. I have never, or it's been a long time since I have felt this level of clarity, of energy, of focus, and my soul is activated, through the cleaning out and the waking up. Why is this important to each and every one of you? Having that vitality, no matter what happens outside of us, inside of us, take full responsibility of the best life. When Tommy and I both got on, we're like, Tommy, I just love my life. I just feel so good. Okay. And Tommy's like, yay, me too. I didn't feel this 9 months ago. Okay. I have, whatever it is we got to go through our dying and awakening, our cleaning, our purging, it can happen. Actually, when I went through this process, I did meet some more surgical nurses, and they said every time there is a tumor coming out of the body, not far from it is a nest of parasites. Every time. Okay, you think of it. And I've shared this before. When we come up to full moon, things get laid and parasites hatch, and the emergency room turns into the funny farm. That is what happens. It makes us crazy, or it could feel this instability. And again, having the awareness, taking the appropriate action. And I would absolutely love to hear, some of your own thoughts about this, some of your own experiences with it, because we are on a subject that the majority of the people have a very hard time digesting. but it is one of the biggest ones we need to digest. And that's what I'm thankful to have, a platform that I could share this, because I don't want to hold back. When I get to know a truth of something that has facts backing it up, I got to share it with you, you know. Mary. Oh, Tommy, you go for it. Okay.
Just after
I'm
that
sorry.
video, after that video, I'm like, okay, to continue now.
That's great.
This stuff is awesome.
That's that's great, Tommy. Thank you.
Yeah. Hi, Mary. Oops, there we go.
I am just so amazed that this is the topic of today because I have been thinking about parasites all week. And I was just so thrilled to hear this. I have known about the parasite thing because my former husband used to work at Oasis of Hope with Dr. Francisco Contreras and Ernesto Contreras. And at that hospital, Charlotte Gerson, who was the daughter of Max Gerson, had the first floor for all of the Gerson treatment for cancer. Now, I sat in on some surgeries with my husband just because I was just so intrigued about it. And I witnessed when he removed tumors, I witnessed the parasites, because when they remove tumors, some of them have hair, some of them have teeth, some of them look like monsters, and there are always 100% of the time parasites present. Always. Now, my daughter is an oncology surgeon, so she sees it and knows it as well. And that book that you were referencing, they have it at Oasis of Hope, and my ex-husband has one in his office. I'm gonna ask if I can get one. Um, anyways, so I've known about parasites, so I said that already. And my grandmother always knew about parasites. And so when I was small, she raised us on everything that you're talking about. She never gave us sugar, and she was an herbalist. She was European, she was an herbalist. And I have some of her notes. But parasites are at the root of almost every single condition that we have in our bodies that wreaks havoc. We just need to control it and bring it down. And I think as we get older and our immune system gets more and more compromised, the parasites are having a better party. They're flourishing. But I'm so excited because I was looking online to see what to take. And so all of a sudden, bam, you throw your stuff up there. So those three supplements that you showed us, that's what you're recommending for parasites?
I am. The one that I would add is a probiotic. We do have an incredible probiotic because the parasites break down even the friendly bacteria in your body. And we want to detoxify, we want to have the parasites be released out of the system, but we also want the friendly bacteria. Tommy, thank you. Thank you. We want the friendly bacteria to come back into the body. You just need maybe one of these a day, maybe two a day, you know, but that will restore the bacteria that's in your body. I want to tell you just a side note from, thank you so much, Tommy. If you have had that particular thing put into you, or you are near somebody, or you're in a partnership with somebody who has had it, it can stay in your system 12 to 14 years if you don't do this. Okay, and the conditions continue to build. Okay, so that there, and again, you can find that in Dr. Artis's book, that you're going to get facts that it's going to blow you away. And at first you might be like, what? Why didn't no one tell me this? What? You know, but yet they were penalized. They weren't allowed to tell you a lot of things. But then this is interesting. Okay. So I talked with the oncologist 2 weeks ago, um, she's asking me, she couldn't read. I had in my chart, I take Parasite for parasite. She's like, what is that? What is parasite? What she, I'm like, so when there was a surgery, when I had the mastectomy, yeah, I just wanted verified. Nobody found any parasitic sacs. They hadn't seen anything. She said it was so full of calcium crystals, and I knew that the cancer I had came from oxalates that turned to poison that turned to cancer. And I was like, thank you for sharing that, because I've been doing ivermectin. I've been doing stuff for parasites. So when we do have the class on oxalates, I hope everybody shows up because it's going to blow your mind too, the stuff that I'm finding in certain foods and levels, but I'm going to always share with you solutions to this. Mr. Tommy.
Hi, Judy.
Hi, Tommy.
I just have a couple of questions because I'm putting an order in. What's the difference between Pure Cleanse and Pure Cleanse 2?
Wonderful. Okay, Pure Cleanse 2 has there's no stevia, no sweeteners. I I really would, I mean, recommend that, but if you're a person who we have low fructose in the Pure Cleanse, but if you're a person who wants to say, I'm gonna if you're used to no sugar, go to the Pure Cleanse too, but it's very bitter. It
Is
has
there
the herbs
is
in
there
it that will,
is there no sugar in the cleanse caps?
the fiber caps. No,
Um, the
we
Pure
have
Cleanse
fiber caps. The Pure
caps.
Cleanse is made into fiber caps, no sugar.
Okay, because that's the one I usually do. I like to
Okay.
just
And
do
the
it in
cleanse
caps.
caps that Tommy's mentioned, no sugar.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so we're eventually going to be changing several formulas due to everything I'm learning and have been through with this. Thank you. Another question? There you go.
And is
Those
the promo code good for like any your whole order or just the three products on the slide that we had up?
I will contact Taylor to make sure it's for anything.
Okay,
That
I think he said it's yeah, off their order he said so.
Oh, coal.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fabulous.
Okay, cool.
And that's for this class. I would respect that and not pass it. Well, what the heck? If you have somebody else you can help with this, please do. Okay.
Oh, wait. Quick question. So there's the
Yeah.
Pura Cleanse Urban Fiber capsules,
Yeah.
and then there is the Cleanse caps.
Okay. The cleanse caps, thank you, is so we have the Pure Cleanse or the fiber caps. Does the scrubbing, the loosening up from the intestinal wall, has the fiber in it, apple fiber, pectin, 36 herbs. Then what happens is it could be like cement where people can't quite move their bowels as easily, get stuck in a pocket, a kink in the colon. The cleanse caps is your friend to just kick it out because the Pura Cleanse and the fiber caps literally loosens up poison. Okay. And there are herbs in the Pura Cleanse and fiber caps for parasites. It will loosen that up. But what happens is a lot of people, if in a day or two you cannot move that out, it's very toxic. You want the cleanse caps to help move it out. Many people have lost the muscle tone in the colon to have healthier bowel movements. It will just help along the way.
Got it. So,
Very, very
so the
good.
Pura Cleanse does the scrubbing and the Cleanse caps do the flushing.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
it just kind of helps kick it out if you need that extra help. And it could be you need it some, maybe not every day, but they're really designed to go together.
Oh, okay. Got it. And then
Mhm.
Judy just asked, so you don't deliver to Europe currently.
Not yet. We have Taylor working on this. We did look that if we send it as a gift and there's no trace, of invoice or money, we could do it. So it's, I don't know, Valerie, if that's something you want to check out, we could give it a shot too.
Hi, Valerie, go ahead.
Hi, Judy. Hi, guys. Yeah,
Hi.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I had a question about the chemtrails because you said that was surprising me because I know about chemtrails for many years, like 30 years, something like this. But I didn't realize you could get parasite.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
There are
chemtrails.
4 different ones they have put in the chemtrail. I even saw, oh, it's wild. They have all these buttons that pilots can choose
Oh, I
which
know,
one to spray where for how long and how much. It
I
it is
know.
so dark. It is so dark that way, but why I care about having that information is so I could tell you what to do to take care of yourself.
Mhm. I have another question because I don't have this product, but what I do for many years now, I make a daily tea for
Okay.
myself and I use fresh curcuma,
Mm-hmm.
fresh brown pepper, black pepper, fresh ginger,
Mm-hmm.
lemon that I wash very well. I wash everything with baking soda and white vinegar. And I put some rosemary and thyme in it too, and cannelle. I drink this the whole day. I drink at about 1 liter, 2 liter a day. So it must help for something, right?
That is wonderful. Absolutely, Valerie. I'm
Good.
glad you shared that with us.
I shared the recipe a long time ago in the Collier Collective. I don't know if you remember, but I could put it there back because I also do something else. I make a paste.
Uh-huh.
It's a natural antibiotic. It's organic honey that I get here where I live.
Okay.
And I have very well ground ginger and ground curcuma. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and then you put a big spoon of ginger, a big spoon of curcuma, a lot of ground pepper, and you mix it with the honey. I can show you. I have one on my counter all the time. Looks like this. You see?
That is so impressive,
Looks
Valerie.
like this. And
Wow.
I take with a wooden spoon because otherwise you break the honey. With a wooden spoon, I take one on the morning and one on the evening, preventive. And when I get sick, like cold or something like this, then I do it on the 3 hours. And the doctors don't get it, but between 2 days, I'm good again. You know what I mean? So
Oh,
maybe even if I cannot get the pills, it's already something good, right?
it is so good. Oh my gosh, I would love that recipe.
I'm
That
going to send it to you.
that is so good. Maybe that will be our new formula here coming up. It I
Really
see,
good.
thank you.
Yeah,
This
you're
is
welcome.
exciting.
If you want, I can send it to you. I have you on Messenger. And for you guys, I can put it in the collier again if you want,
Thank
Tommy,
you, Valerie. Yeah,
because it's really good.
beautiful. Love
Good
it.
I
for a lot of things.
I
Love
love
it.
that. Helping each other out with this. This is so good. Paul, you have a lot of info on this too, right?
Yeah, it's once the lights go on there, it's
You can't turn them off,
you
right?
can't turn it off, and you see it everywhere. And you're talking about when they're spraying the skies. I'm like, I think that's parasites that are doing that. Like
Hmm.
no hijacking. Um, just got to stay on top of it, right?
Yeah, and that's the key, to keep working the best you can. And I'm a walking testimony of this, in the sense of, all right, once I know more, and it's hard not to, when if you hear any of this stuff from Dr. Artis, it's so deeply researched. Okay, this is nothing to do with conspiracy when you get this level of facts and when they have tested, oh, the fog, oh, the chemical fog that we are exposed to. Oh my goodness. Now they have tested the parasites in that and what's been manufactured, put in that. All right. So this isn't conspiracy, and I'm not sharing negativity of being aware of we have to take full responsibility for our life now. I am really an advocate of that. Nobody can take better care of you but you. Okay, we could support each other, but it's your responsibility. And once you get to know what it is, then, please own it and share it and do what you can.
It when I do a little deep dive, I sometimes will see comments of people sharing a book. Have you heard of like the 21 former doctor secrets?
Oh, no, that's a good one,
So
huh?
I'm trying to find it and to read it, and it seems like it's pretty challenging to get at. The 21 former doctor secrets you wish you knew earlier. But a lot of people will chime in and share that, like opening you up to what's going on. And
And I think that would be a good thing to know for sure. And the thing that Tommy's company, and I'm sure a lot of people at Tommy's company teaches, let's keep creating the reality we want. Let's keep creating the new earth we want. I focus on the new earth every day. I could be aware of this stuff going on, but I focus on what I want to create for my life every day. We have that. We are so connected to divinity and source to keep creating what we really, really want. But I also believe in to educate. Now, why did that just happen? Okay, now, why did I get off the airplane and I smell all this burnt smell? And then I get respiratory right away and I get pneumonia right away. What? That's typically not me. Okay. So I'm just saying education is still good, but you have what's in you to create the strongest body, mind, body, soul that you can. I know we're going over 10.
Thank you, Judy. Oops. Thank you
Oh,
so
that
much,
must have been a
Judy.
parasite caught in your throat, right?
No, I just took
thank
the
you, Judy.
turmeric. It's gone.
Oh, it's gone. Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Any other final thoughts, Judy?
No, I'm
Okay.
just so jazzed. I see Linda Lawls on the she does a tremendous amount of research. She looks up stuff for me all the time, and I appreciate her. I'm happy to see Wanda, Dory, Michelle, everybody who's on here. Thank you. And you know what? Just please come to the next one because I just want to keep sharing anything I can with all of you. And please pass on the information. Don't contain it, share it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Judy. Thanks everyone for being here, and we will see you back in a couple of weeks for, is it oxalates? Or let's see, I'll tell you. Class 4 is CBD. Maybe we make
Okay,
class
let,
5
let me
oxalates.
ask the group. Do you want CBD or oxalates? Which one do you want next? Oxalates are what's
CBD.
in, Valerie, you said CBD?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay.
Okay, we'll do oxalates after that then.
Yeah.
We need to get the
Okay.
next 4 scheduled, Judy. So,
Okay. I'll
okay.
work with you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
friends.
everybody.
Bye for
Thank
now.
you.